Welcome back to DNJ React, where music sparks conversation.
Every day.
In today's conversation, we have a Bora City special. We have not done Bora City in forever.
It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, I'm excited to get back to it because she puts together really well told stories and details on BTS that I personally don't know. I learn a lot of stuff through her. So
Absolutely.
She's amazing at creating all this stuff. But this one's called Why the Music Industry is Terrified of BTS.
They should be.
They should be, because BTS is a monster. They're a Goliath in this space.
Show is.
But with that being said, let's jump in and see what's going on.
On April 3rd, Jimin of BTS became the first South Korean soloist to debut at #1 on the world's biggest music chart, the Billboard Hot 100. His song Like Crazy became the 7th song ever by a Korean act to reach #1. The other 6 songs are BTS's songs. So all of the Korean songs that reach #1 are from BTS and BTS members only. Actually, all the songs from Asian artists that debuted at #1 are from BTS and BTS members only. And believe it or not, this is extremely scary for the music industry. Since BTS entered the Hot 100's top 10 for the first time in 2018, the music industry has done everything in their power to prevent them from getting #1 songs. But why does BTS keep succeeding despite literally being one of the most sabotaged artists in the industry? And why would all these music entities work together to harm one artist? Isn't this simply paranoia from BTS fans? The industry's actions say something very clear. BTS cannot be at the top, and they don't try to hide this anymore. Everyone can see the industry's obvious intentions by looking at the times they come up with a weird new rule that prevents BTS from succeeding in their charts. Just look at the latest one. Jimin's song Like Crazy got a #1 in its first week, and it was predicted to stay in the top 10 for its second week. Jimin was achieving the same debut numbers of Olivia Rodrigo, but without the industry support. And this obviously was not the industry's plan. So Billboard decided to change one specific rule that benefits Jimin, so him and only him can fall from the charts, and the rest of it stays exactly the same. It's still unknown what Billboard did exactly to make the best-selling song of the week go from 100,000 sales to 14,000 sales. Maybe Billboard didn't just want Jimin to not be in the top 10, they wanted him to free fall.
That's brutal, man. Like, why,
Bro,
dude? That doesn't make sense. It's because they're not paying into the industry. All these other artists have to pay the industry to be where they are. They're not. They're outside of it.
You know what an industry plant is?
Industry plant?
Industry plant?
No, what is it?
It's like a person that the industry selects to be like a Taylor Swift, basically. But Taylor Swift technically isn't an industry plant, but like the Olivia Rodrigo girl, she just like blew up over the last couple of years, like got massive. That's an industry plant. Like they put somebody, Bad Baby. That's like an industry plant. Like she did some dumb shit on Dr. Phil, and then all of a sudden you see her just like skyrocket. Yeah. The industry just flows money into these people, but they achieved all this organically, so that pisses the industry off because they're not connected to be able to make money off of them like they are with Olivia Rodrigo.
Then they have no control over them.
No control. That's what they need. That's unfortunate for them, man. I'm glad they have such a big fan loyal base, like the army itself.
The fans are always there for them no matter what, so regardless of the industry, these guys are going to succeed.
Yeah.
So why filter 60% of the song's sales so we can fall from the top 10 when you can cut 90% of the song's sales and make him have the biggest fall ever? Maybe they didn't just want to take his accomplishment away. They wanted to send a message. They wanted to show who is really in charge. Not the fans consuming the music, but the industry itself. This is not the first time they've done this. Whenever they want a song to fall on the charts, they apply a new rule that applies to one artist, and then they forget about this rule for the following weeks until once again an artist they don't want to be at the top is at the top. So they apply one specific rule that can help them fall. Allegedly, of course, because the only explanation to delete 90% of a song's sales is for Luminate, which tracks these numbers, to track each payment by looking at IP addresses and credit card information, and that's illegal and Billboard would never, of course. So why would the whole industry go out of their ways to prevent one artist from succeeding?
It is really strange.
BTS's biggest advantage and disadvantage is that they are successful without the industry's support. And the industry has built an environment where you can only win if you accept to play the industry's game. In other words, the industry chooses its winners from the very beginning and sabotages other players who find alternative ways to defeat others at their own game. I would say that the biggest artists who do this are BTS, and it's because of ARMY's power. BTS is not simply a one-hit artist, they are at the core of pop culture, and they did this without industry support. Not the K-pop industry support, not the Western industry support.
Like at these award shows, the industry people that own the industry, I think Kanye West pointed out he had his phone up and he was showing all of the people that are at the top of all the companies inside of Hollywood that own the media, that own everything, that are basically the mouthpieces for the industry. And the boxes with the names in red were all Jewish owners of everything. And then the green, there was like 2 little tiny green bars. And then just like thousands of red bars of all the Jewish people that own the top of the industries.
So they own the whole industry.
So maybe, I don't know if Jewish people have something against Asian people or
I don't know
or what, but Jewish people are predominantly the owners of Hollywood, of the news channels, of the banking industry, of everything. They're like the cartel of the world. So you notice how, like, if anybody says something bad about Jewish people, it's like you're like you're a crazy ass. Even if the person does something bad, like you're canceled. That shows you who is in control over the whole entire industry.
Right.
You know, you notice you say something bad about a certain group of people, and then you get canceled. That's who has control over everybody. So maybe the Jewish people, they're not like.
They're not in control of them, so you know that upsets them, and now they've got to do something to shut them down.
They don't make money off of them either. No. So
were able to get to the top of the music industry without the music industry making a profit out of them. That's why BTS are a problem. That's what the industry cannot stand. Just compare Psy's situation with BTS's situation. When Gangnam Style by Psy became globally popular, the music industry was not afraid of a Korean singer becoming popular in the West because everyone assumed it was a one-time thing. But when BTS became globally popular, the story was different. The Western industry was first okay with them being a one-hit artists. They were fine with BTS being the weird phenomenon that people will grow out of after some time. But when they didn't disappear and they actually started defeating Western artists, the music industry got worried.
When I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
The entertainment industry is usually happy to celebrate international and independent artists and scream diversity as long as one, it's a one-time thing, or two, artists obey the industry's rules and give the industry some profit. The Oscars were fine celebrating Bong Joon-ho's movie because even though they don't profit from the movie's success, at least Bong Joon-ho is not an artist releasing multiple successful projects a year. Parasite was a one-time thing that indirectly could help his other movies from American production companies. The Emmys were happy giving Squid Games multiple awards because at least the show was being produced by Netflix and the actors were happy to accept offers from the Western industry. In other words, the Western industry got benefits from the success of a foreign series, so it was fine to celebrate them. Everything Everywhere All at Once was highly celebrated by the industry, but at the end of the day, it's an American movie by American directors, American writers, and American production companies. In the end, the movie's success is the American industry's profit. But singers are different because they constantly release music and their success can become constant support from fans. So an artist's success can rely on the fans more than it relies on the industry itself. And that is not something the industry wants. This is why a song like Despacito, which was already the most popular song worldwide before the Justin Bieber feature, was not recognized at all by Billboard or any other entity from the American music industry. They only accepted the song as a global success when Justin Bieber and his American label were involved and making a profit out of it. This is why the Billboard Music Awards were happy to invite Psy to their ceremony, but they never gave Gangnam Style, the biggest song of the year, a number one. Many factors prevented Psy from achieving this. To start, Psy never left his
basically this is all useless bullshit then, because none of it, like, even if you
none of it means anything then.
even if you have the biggest numbers in the world, it's false. It's all false because they just put up whatever bullshit numbers they want.
Right.
So
they're
literally
in control of what they want to be number one.
because they do that, none of this means anything.
No.
It's all bullshit.
It means something to them in the
the
industry
money
because
part,
of the
but-
money. But to all of us, it really means absolutely nothing.
That's like in sports, like a football game. Like the team you just beat this team, and then they categorize them as the winners because they paid an extra $1.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what's the point of even doing this then?
Yeah.
Like, take the show down, take all of this shit down,
Yeah,
take all the
just
billboards
let
down.
the artists do their music and let the people just
Yeah.
listen.
To fully sign with an American label, so his music never got proper industry support. Also, at the time, Billboard didn't count YouTube views as streams, making it obvious
why
how the
people don't
charts
trust
didn't
Hollywood.
reflect what the
They don't
public
trust
was
news
actually
companies. They don't
listening
trust
to.
news
Even to
sources
this
because
day,
they always
with many chart
falsify everything.
adjustments,
It's all
the
fake.
Billboard charts are just a reflection of the artists the industry wanted to succeed from the very beginning. Of course, there are exceptions like Gangnam Style, Old Town Road, and some organic TikTok hits. But how far they go and how far they'll keep being recognized depends on the artist's willingness to shake hands with industry people. And again, they don't care if you're a foreign artist, as long as they get to make a profit out of you. But if you don't comply with them, you will get your moment of fame and then be completely shut down from the music industry. Here's how they do it.
I like that song. It's a good one.
The industry endorses its own artists on the streaming platforms like Spotify by applying multiple subtle methods. One way is by putting the artist's desire to succeed at the best spots of curated playlists. The biggest one is the Today's Top Hits playlist, which doesn't actually show today's top hits. That it's the ugly, colorless Top 50 playlist. Today's Top Hits is what Spotify wants to be the top hits. Millions of streams from the general public come from these playlists, so being a part of it, it's a vital part of a song's promotion. Spotify says that they decide which artists get to be at the top of the playlist or at the cover based on their intuition and expertise in music trends. But
That's bullshit.
So basically,
dude.
what artist is going to pay them the most to have those spots?
Like, give them the biggest percentage of the pie, the future pie.
Yeah,
You know,
to put them at the top spots.
dude, that's
It's such a scam.
such a greedy, disgusting industry, dude. Because I'm a numbers guy, and it's like if the numbers are bigger than these people's numbers, that's who wins. It's math. It's easy. It's simple. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah.
But then the greed factor comes into play, and we'll literally
Wipe it out.
say blue is red, and you know
Right.
this and yeah.
It's whatever they want it to be. That's what it is.
They make up their own reality.
Yeah.
many find these arbitrary decisions suspicious, since Spotify loves giving this special treatment to certain artists from certain labels. To think that artists from certain powerful labels are paying their way to the cover of this playlist may not be a crazy thing to think. Spotify also takes advantage of the automatic autoplay feature. When you stop listening to an album you like, they will immediately play you a song they want you to stream. More recently, Spotify updated their homepage to a TikTok-like feed that lets you scroll down endlessly with songs and music videos being automatically played. So while some artists get millions of streams added because of passive streams from curated playlists and the accidental streams from the autoplay feature, BTS get millions of streams deleted because fandom behavior of willingly listening to a song every day is considered bot behavior. So if you compare
What?
BTS's unfiltered streams with their filter streams, you will find out that they are the ones with the highest rate of filter streams. Their streams get deleted more than any other artist. There are even days when their streams are cut in half. But
Damn.
Spotify is
Bro,
not
could you imagine if the numbers were real?
Oh my God. That'd
Like
be insane.
it would look like a speck. Every other artist would look like a speck of dust.
Oh yeah.
Compared to their stats.
BTS would be through the roof. Yeah,
the
it's
only
crazy, man.
platform doing this. Some of BTS's biggest waves of new fans came from YouTube. Their music videos get so many views that BTS started breaking every YouTube record imaginable, time and time again. So every time BTS broke a record, YouTube changed their algorithm to
108
find
billion
ways
views
to
in
delete what
24
they
hours.
say are
What?
inorganic views.
You just listen to that?
What?
You just missed it. Listen to what YouTube just
We'll
did.
repeat it because the editing's hard if you go backwards.
They're basically, look, go back. You're fine. Click back to the white line. That little line right here. Listen to what they're doing in YouTube to them.
This. Some of BTS's biggest waves of new fans came from YouTube. Their music videos get so many views that BTS started breaking every YouTube record imaginable, time and time again. So every time BTS broke a record, YouTube changed their algorithm to find ways to delete what they say are inorganic views. But it's pretty clear that their algorithms never worked properly.
It really pisses me off if that's real, but how do they know that for sure?
I don't know. I really don't.
Is that just like is there actual facts to support that they do that? Because if so, I mean, that is the most intricate, in-depth extermination of an artist I've ever seen.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, if they're not getting paid and they're trying to hold them back, the industry as a whole is trying to keep them down, then, I mean, they will find algorithms to pick that apart and bring them down.
Oh my god, it's such BS.
That's why they keep changing it every time BTS gets a new record. So just to talk about the latest YouTube algorithm change, I'm going to talk about the most successful music videos from a Korean act so far this year. According to YouTube, it's this video. But according to the massive wave of new BTS fans you can find on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube itself, it's On the Street by J-Hope of BTS featuring J. Cole and Like Crazy by Jimin of BTS. But both of these videos get millions of views deleted every day. It's common for YouTube to do this in the first 24 hours with every music video, since it's the day they get the most views. As days pass, fans stop mass streaming and YouTube stops deleting views. But this is BTS, so YouTube is still deleting their music video views today, weeks after they were released. You may still think that YouTube is just deleting fake views, but it's simply impossible for a random Jimin interview to get more views in its first hours than an official and anticipated Jimin music video. It's not crazy to believe that YouTube disproportionately deletes views on BTS's music videos specifically. Let's be logical for a second. These K-pop acts are not bigger than BTS, and that's okay. But it's not okay for BTS to get their views deleted every hour while these other microscopical songs get views added because people are forced to stream their music videos as YouTube ads. On the other hand,
there's no way these other artists like NCT and EXO are getting anything close to that, because we've had our channel for 9 months now. We've done a bunch of EXO, done a bunch of TXT, NCT, Blackpink. We've done them all. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares, dude. Like, everybody just cares about BTS.
Yeah.
Like, every time we put out a video, we get like 1/10 the views. So like, and a lot of these people in the comments are like, "Oh, EXO is like bigger than BTS," and I'm like,
"How?
Where are the numbers at?" Like every time we do a reaction video to EXO or NCT, they do trash. Like,
they don't get any views, but then you put BTS, anything BTS, and it blows up.
Yeah, there's not a lot of interest for these other bands, it seems like, compared to...
I mean, there's people out there that obviously like them, but not at the level of BTS.
This is like a different level, dude. This is like from all the other bands being on Earth and BTS is on the moon.
Yeah,
like, that's how far of a gap it is.
Of these two videos, BTS recently received one of its biggest waves of new fans, probably the biggest since 2021. Yet YouTube wants us to believe that these are the real numbers.
Global takeover group BTS in the studio. There they are.
Probably the most fraudulent practice in the music industry is giving radio importance. At least with streaming platforms, there is this sense of autonomy. Streaming platforms may choose the artists they want to be at the top. They may recommend you their songs and music videos time and time again. They may even steal a stream from you because of their autoplay features and paid ads. But at least there are ways to fight this. Armies may not get BTS ads and recommendations, but they can look for the songs and videos themselves. Armies may not get all of their streams content, but at least the industry recognizes about half of them. But what has no solution except to pay is radio. Radio mysteriously chooses certain songs to get played and stays with those, giving them millions of radio spins and points to music charts that will give them a number one. But here you have Jimin of BTS, who has a number one song and millions of radio play requests by fans and still receives 0 points from radio. And this is not even a crazy foreign song that the American general public may reject. This is a mainstream yet nicely produced pop song in English. But this is just reality. It was not in the industry's plans or in their best interest to make Like Crazy popular. So when it happened, they once again pretended like BTS doesn't exist and continue sabotaging their songs. Life Goes On was another radio-friendly song by BTS that got a number 1 on the Hot 100, but they received a total of 6 spins on US radio. That's 0
You know what
points.
BTS needs to do after they retire? They need to create their own music awards, and then
Yeah.
all the people, then they bring in all the artists and stuff,
Yeah.
and they kind of kick out the other music awards in the
Right.
U.S. and they create one in the U.S. and create one over in Korea.
Yeah, there you go, man. That's
how
actually
to-
a good idea.
That's how to do it, man. You got to play their game back.
Yeah. Take them
Music
down.
charts. Dynamite and Butter were number 1 songs in English by BTS that were played on the radio to an extent, but the number of spins were not enough to maintain their number 1 position. They were only able to stay on the top of the charts because people were streaming and buying their songs. That is the main difference with BTS's songs and the industry songs. If you take the millions of radio spins from the majority of the industry's
That's
promoted
crazy,
songs, they
bro.
wouldn't only
What
have
the
bigger
hell?
falls than BTS. They would simply not be in the chart at all. This is how the industry chooses their success stories from the very beginning. Mass radio play makes a song debut look more successful than what it actually is, and therefore it misleads and attracts the general public. If this doesn't work and the general public still rejects the song, the industry doesn't give up. Mass radio play makes an unsuccessful song stay in the charts with minimal sales and streams from real people. While this happens, songs like Jimin's, which literally got a number 1 and millions of people streaming and buying, will still not receive any radio spins. Radio doesn't care about how radio friendly the song is. They don't care about the millions of faithful listeners they will get if they play BTS music. They don't care about the most requested songs. The industry's plans are the industry's plans. The reason why many talk about the industry as a whole is because all of these music entities are interconnected one way or another. Artists and their labels know that being on the Billboard charts gives the illusion that the general public is listening to a song. And to get a number 1 song on this chart, you need streams, sales, and radio play. So music labels, allegedly, pay for all of this radio play, fraudulent streams, and media play because they can be an investment for future real sales and streams. This can be an investment for real popularity and real listeners. If all of these investments fail to convince the general public and the label is bold enough, they will continue paying for these tactics to stay on the charts while no real people are streaming or buying the song. These failed industry promoted songs that no one is listening to will then be nominated for Grammys with the excuse that they care about quality and not popularity. These Grammys will then elevate the artist and the music label's reputation, and then they will get more money invested in them. This money will then be used to buy media play, radio play, streams, and the circle continues. If a massively promoted song or album is successful, the artist may get their investment money back, as well as the obvious Grammys. This will give the artist the most important factor to make money: reputation. Allegedly, music labels pay way more money to streaming platforms for promotion than they receive from streams. The money paid for radio spins can go from thousands of dollars to multi-million-dollar settlements. And getting this investment back as sales
Dude, look
is
at
not
his
as
numbers,
common because buying
115K.
music is
Look at
not a
everybody
popular
else's,
enough
like,
practice
nothing, like
amongst
single
the general
digits.
public. Musicians rarely
They're in
make
triple
profit
digits
from
for
their
BTS.
music. They earn money from advances, merchandise, royalties, licensing fees, and concerts. That's why that number 1 is so important. That's why many would rather not make any profits now and get a Grammy
Same
later.
with Ice Spice.
It's like being
She just, like, blew up
influencers.
out of nowhere
Their
and she's
actual content
trash.
may not
Yeah.
make a lot of profit, but the reputation
she
and
was part of the
popularity
Spice
of their
Girls
name
back in
can
the day
get
when that
them
was
fashion deals.
Taylor Swift has so much power in the industry. You know, she's like top dog in everything. And she did a song with Ice Spice, and then Ice Spice blew
again.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the music.
But I mean,
is-
she was big back in the day with the Spice Girls. I mean, she had
Huh?
that going on.
Ice Spice is a rapper.
Oh, I thought you were
This
talking.
is a new industry plant. Because her music is absolutely ass, dude.
It's bad?
It's so bad. All she does is get half naked and shake her ass and sing like basic ass lyrics. Yeah, and it's
all
all
it
just
takes.
like sexualized songs about, you know, sex and just being disgusting, basically.
That's all it takes, though. That's
Yeah.
what sells.
That's literally what sells. So, yeah, Taylor Swift connected with her. Probably signed her under her record label so Taylor Swift could get paid off that. I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but I always wondered, I'm like, Taylor Swift singing with this lady? It makes no sense. Like, the music doesn't even sound good. Taylor Swift does, but Ice
There's
Spice
always
is
a way to profit,
bad.
so that's got to be a connection.
Yeah, for sure.
Commercials, and a time slot in a music festival. These are only examples, of course. There are many variables and outcomes. Sometimes artists invest in radio play and end up making a lot more money from sales or concerts. Sometimes an artist has a good relationship with the industry for years, and then they stop shaking hands with industry people and they receive 0 Grammy nominations for an extremely popular, critically acclaimed album. When it comes to BTS, the Western industry's main interest is ratings and social media engagement, because that is direct money for the Western industry. BTS's 5 Grammy nominations are historic for a number of reasons, but their lack of wins show the obvious message the Grammys are trying to send them. You can't be invited, so we have the ratings, but you are not our friends, so you won't win. In the end, the industry has the first and last say, and this doesn't only happen in the Western music industry. You won't believe how much the South Korean music industry tries to sabotage the only artist capable of bringing billions of dollars to the
You always notice too, like a lot of the bigger singers have industry ties before the singer is even ever a thing. It's like their mom or their dad or someone is a lawyer for somebody famous in Hollywood.
It's all
or
networking.
It's your aunt or your uncle's in there, or it's something. It's like there's always a connection of some sort, because you're like, how did these people blow up? Unless they're just like, you know, they get on YouTube, they play a song like that. This country guy, he just got up there and played a song and it went viral.
It goes viral, yeah.
And then he gets big. But a lot of these other people, you're like, how the hell did these people get big? Like,
it's just network connections, man.
Yeah, because some of them are really bad, and I just don't get it.
Economy. Again, this is because BTS are not part of their elite. The 3 major music labels in South Korea control the entertainment industry. They have enough power to blacklist artists from independent labels like BTS and make the media downplay their achievements. There isn't a common practice of deleting sales like in American music charts, but what they would do is freeze the charts and then apologize for a technical error, so millions of BTS sales are not counted once again. This is how the different music entities inside each music industry are interconnected. They need one another to function. Sometimes they are one and the same. If you thought Billboard and Rolling Stone were at some point
It's so much
competing
harder
for who
too
has
for
the
like
best
guys
charts,
because they can't get half naked on stage and sell sex. They actually have to have real
Yeah,
talent.
you have to have talent behind
You actually
it.
have to have real lyrics. You have to, you know, be deep. You can't just go on there in a mini skirt and just
Shake around.
and then say cake, 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 and like the K-pop girls, they always just say the same shit over and over and over again. It genuinely pisses me off, dude. Like
I know.
the lyrics are exactly like all of them. Like I would say, like 80% of the K-pop girls that I've listened to, I'm deeply, and I'm being as real as possible with you guys. I'm so not impressed with the K-pop girls. I don't think there's any band in K-pop that I've listened to from female artists that I've been like, holy shit, that was like really deep and meaningful.
Yeah, the message isn't very deep. There's not much behind it.
No, like some of them, they're just repeating like cake, 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 cake over,
Yeah,
and
whip
I'm
it,
like,
whip it,
I go
whip
on
it.
Songtel, I'm or like, yeah, whip it, whip it, whip it up, whip it. It's like, bro, come on, like, you say like 3 lines and then go back to the same 5 words over and over and
Repeat it
over and over again
for 3 minutes.
And then
straight.
I look up on Songtel and like what the meaning is,
And they
like
try to have this deep...
they try to have a deep meaning. I'm like,
like,
bro, they're
no, there's
repeating
no-
the same word
Yeah.
1,000 times with a beat and a half, and they're
And
half
they're half
naked.
naked on this-
like
on
that's all
screen.
it is.
Yeah.
But BTS actually has real raw talent, a real story, a real struggle. Like
Yeah,
the
they write
lyrics,
their own music. So
the
it's
lyrics,
impressive.
the lyrics are deep too. You know, like they're actually meaningful lyrics.
Yeah.
They're not just
They're, like,
repeating the
poetic.
same. They're not just repeating the same exact word over and over and over and
know.
over again. You know, so it's a lot harder for I think the males in the industry to actually like.
Yeah, you
make,
have to have
They
some-
can't sell sex. They just
No.
can't. I mean, they're good looking dudes, but you can't get half naked like the girls can and
No, that's not going to work.
get up there and shake it. You know, it's not going to do it.
No, you have to have a lot more behind it.
think about how they are both owned by Banks Media Corporation, which also owns Variety, Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter, and an interest in music business worldwide. So if BTS is still the biggest group in the world, but they don't have a good relationship with the music industry, here you will have, guess who? Billboard, Rolling Stone, Variety, and The Hollywood Reporter, making a profit out of BTS by selling exclusive photo shoots while at the same time writing negative articles undermining their success. This person said something interesting. Billboard is nothing but an ad-selling business, the literal definition of a billboard. So why are you surprised the artists Billboard promoted since day one end up succeeding in the Billboard charts? Like
Such a
I
fire
said,
song,
there
yeah,
are
it's
not
pretty
many
good.
artists that make money from their music, but music sales are still an important factor to get a number one song or album. So they will digitally sell their songs for cents and their albums for only a couple of dollars. This makes a lot of points.
Damn, that's
for
such a big
charts, but
difference
not
from back in the day. Remember when you'd go into the mall and you go into the music store and the album's like $19.99?
Oh, I know.
Now they're selling it for like, you just pay $10 a month for a music thing. You can access everybody's
Everything.
music.
I know, it's insane.
But they also can stream a lot more views than someone physically driving their car, picking up an album,
yeah.
going back, listening. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
then you also have YouTube now, too, where
Yeah.
a lot of the songs are on YouTube, and you get all that for free.
well, you have YouTube, you have Spotify, you have Pandora, you have Apple Music.
Yeah,
like
Apple
you have all
Music.
these platforms to stream from.
Yeah.
So even though you dropped your album price by 80%, it doesn't matter because the views are going to be 5,000x that.
Yeah,
So
a million times over.
either way, you're going to win.
Not so much money for the artist. They will also do the classic bundle album sales by selling concert tickets and different kinds of merch like t-shirts, socks, underwear, cups, lollipops, energy drinks, and even condoms, along with a copy of their album. Charts will then count these merch sales as album sales. However,
What?
BTS's main
They can do
strategy
that?
to get
How
their
is that
number
even
one
possible?
albums and
It's a
songs
different
is
product.
to focus on music sales, real sales. BTS has never bundled their albums with any kind of merchandise or concert tickets.
That makes no sense
Their
to do
biggest
that.
sin, which the industry loves to point out, is the fact that they release a maximum of 4 versions of an album. But these were only special occasions. The norm for BTS is to release 2 versions of an album, something completely harmless if you compare it to the insane sales tactics by other music labels. Fans being encouraged to buy 2 or 4 versions of the same album because they come with a unique photo card is nothing compared to K-pop singers releasing 7 or 13 versions of the same
God.
album. BTS's 2
Why?
or 4 versions of an album don't have the purpose to maximize album sales.
It's like
or
they
would
create.
be
It's like collecting
way cheaper.
Pokemon cards at that
Kind
point.
of,
Like,
yeah.
you're just collecting all their different
Yeah.
albums. That should probably be worth a ton.
But it's the same
once they
al-
retire too.
It's the same album, just different album cover. Like that.
Was it the same? Well, I mean, technically the songs are probably the same, but you know how some songs have like remixes or a
Yeah.
slight variation of like a tune
Right.
in the background, and that categorizes that a completely different album now. You know,
Right.
or an extended
it's
version.
also that, and it's also the album covers, like they were saying, they're changing album covers, so it
Yeah.
makes you want to go buy the new one, so you have the collection.
But people, collectors will do that, you know? Just like
yeah.
all the AC/DC, like
Yeah.
Metallica, like all those bands that are retired now and that aren't really relevant anymore. People have like all their albums and the records, and the people collect records. So people will collect all of these,
Yeah.
you know, and eventually put them up for sale or just keep them forever
I'm
because
sure.
they love collectibles.
BTS's album versions are intended to actually make money, and their number of versions usually has something to do with the album's concept. If they think one version of an album is enough to capture the album's concept, then they will release only one version. If the album's concept works better in 2 opposite works, then they release 2 versions. It's as simple as that. Another common practice to maximize sales is to release remixes of a song. All of these remixes, sales, and streams will be combined and help the main song climb in music charts. BTS very occasionally releases multiple remixes of a song, and ARMYs buy these remixes to help BTS stay on the charts, since they receive literally 0 points from radio and their streams are cut in half. But while BTS is being criticized by the industry for this remix tactic, other artists are celebrated and called smart and iconic for doing exactly the same.
Taylor Swift's part of the elites though, so
Yeah, she can get away with it.
she's in the
The
she's in the
industry
club.
and multiple fandoms think they are doing something by accusing ARMYs of mass buying BTS albums and songs, without realizing that by doing so, they are admitting that the quote-unquote organic hits from the charts are there with industry support and not fandom support. The industry and multiple fandoms criticize and laugh at BTS for not having radio points, when they have no control over that. They will have to pay for that just like every other artist is doing. The industry and multiple fandoms criticize and laugh at ARMYs for mass buying when all they're doing is balance the unfair treatment by the industry. If BTS is not willing to pay for radio, which is illegal, or pay for playlisting in streaming platforms, then ARMYs will buy every copy of BTS music available. BTS depends on their fandom and their fandom only. That's what terrifies the industry. BTS are able to stay on the charts while actually making money from their music. That money goes to the BTS members and their Korean label, while the Western music industry receives nothing. Even the distribution deal BTS has with an American label benefits BTS more than it benefits the American label. So the label prioritizes their actual signed artists and dismisses BTS. That's what makes the industry mad. That's why the industry has ridiculed them so much that fandoms have convinced themselves that BTS are the corrupt ones instead of being the against all odds winners in a corrupt industry. And this is beyond the industry being petty. Other fandoms are convinced that the general public's support is better than fandom support because that is, according to the industry, organic success. But as you can see, there is nothing organic about these tactics. There is nothing organic about an industry choosing its own success stories and sabotaging the ones overcoming their unfair obstacles. What is organic is having a fan base of real people actually buying and streaming the music. You can see these millions of real people in sold-out stadium tours, something that the majority of the number one artists and quote-unquote million sellers cannot accomplish. The general public
sucks that like the people at the top in these industries like always suppress the truth.
Oh, of course they do.
Like it really pisses me off because now like nobody will ever know the real shit because they just keep blocking everything and just using money to just pay off everybody and manipulate everything.
Or City just told everybody.
She did, but
she just told them what's happening.
I mean,
it's out there.
It's only
going
to go out to so many people, you know. But
we're going to get it to everybody.
I wish there was a way for like the real number, like if they could line up everybody, all the fans from BTS in the world and have like a sky view of how big they are compared to like every other artist.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, you saw how many people were at that stadium watching them. Like, I wonder if they take into account ticket sales. Like, how many people are showing up for all the shows too?
I'm sure they do.
Does that count towards it?
But a lot of it too could be the same people.
What do you mean?
The same people going to different concerts.
Oh, that's true.
You know, so I'm talking about like the number of individual people that like BTS ARMY. It would be cool to see like a sky view of like the ARMY and then like Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, like see how big the crowds are in size comparison. That'd be really cool.
I wonder if Taylor Swift and ARMY would be somewhat close because they both have gigantic fandoms.
Probably.
It would be a tie. It'd be really close to a tie, I would imagine.
Yeah, Taylor Swift, dude, she's up there with BTS for sure. It's pretty impressive, honestly. Yeah, I think they would.
That'd be interesting. to see the
BTS and
numbers.
Taylor Swift would be like neck and neck, dude.
They may be tricked into streaming a song. They may follow a music trend on TikTok, but they are not always willing to buy expensive concert tickets. The general public moves on and forgets, but an army of fans is able to make an album or song successful without the artist paying for industry support. Real organic success is when an artist transforms the general public into fans, and that's what BTS does with every release. The fandom's numbers only go up. This is
the tickets over here for BTS concerts and Taylor Swift concerts are disgustingly outrageous.
Oh no!
Like,
I mean, there's some concerts that are anywhere from $400 to $800 and $1,500 tickets.
Taylor Swift's are like up in the $5,000 to $50,000 range.
That's just stupid.
And you know, here in the U.S., it's like the same $1,000, $2,000 for a BTS concert ticket, and like Formula One too. They're coming here in Las Vegas in like 3 days. The ticket prices here were like $5,000, right?
Yeah.
To watch the 3-day event. You go to Monaco, the nicest, classiest city, right? Mega yachts everywhere. Everything pristine, super like luxurious everything, half the price of what it's gonna cost here. Yeah. So you're gonna lower your standards and come to the US, come to a shittier city where there's no ocean next to you, there's no like nothing really. It's just like very industrialized looking, and then charge double what it's going to charge over compared to Monaco.
Yeah, they had some of the VIP booths that were along Koval where the main raceway is that were going for $1 million.
Like,
that's
why, bro? Come on, it's like your 2-hour race. I'm gonna spend $1 million for 2 hours,
and the car is gonna go past you,
and over
and that's
in Monaco,
all you see is a second.
Over in Monaco, it's like $5,000. for the $1 million. It's like $5,000
Yeah.
or like $10,000 over there compared to $1 million in America.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Is clearly reflected in the percentage of fans who consider themselves only ARMY. The majority of BTS fans are not K-pop fans. The majority of BTS fans are part of the general public. And it is easily understandable when you look at the fandom's waves of new fans and realize that they have nothing to do with K-pop and everything to do with BTS's performance. So why would an artist prefer the momentary passive support from the general public when they could have the constant active support from a fandom? Why would artists prefer a theater or arena concert with people who only know their 1 or 2 TikTok hits instead of a sold-out stadium with people who know all of their songs? Why is constantly convincing the general public to be your fan not organic success? I think it's very hypocritical for fandoms to cry about how the charts have no meaning anymore every time BTS gets a number 1. Yet, they love celebrating the number 1s from other artists who got there with weird tactics, to say the least. If now anyone can fool the charts and what BTS is doing is so easy, then why aren't more artists getting number 1s only with sales? Why are the charts irrelevant only when BTS succeeds in them? And don't get me wrong, the charts are obviously corrupt. The obvious message they try to send every time BTS...
It's hard to beat Asians.
Oh, and everything.
Bro,
they're so good at everything.
They're so good at everything. They're so meticulous. And they're so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
They put in 18
Hard
hours.
work too, yeah.
18 hours every single day.
Hard work.
Every day. They do their concert, immediately go back to the hotel, literally start working again and live streaming to connect with their fandom.
Where like everybody over here would finish, an award show or finish a concert, and then they're going out drinking, partying, doing dumb shit.
Yes, that's what they do. But yeah, it's hard to beat Asians at a lot of things too. They're just so good at education. They're so good at basically whatever they put their mind to, they go all in. They excel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's impossible.
Gets a number 1 shows how aware they are of their corruption. The obvious humiliation from the industry's actions and media articles show how the industry doesn't care at all about their little mafia getting exposed. They don't care because they know that the general public will keep falling for their tactics. The general public will still believe that a song they don't even
I feel like the general public doesn't know
successful because they've listened to it on the radio.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're just listening to the
general
song.
Public will still believe that their accidental monthly stream in Spotify doesn't count much. Fandoms will still believe that what's best for their favorite artist is the industry and the general public support, rather than their own fandom buying the music and concert tickets. But every time ARMY helps BTS succeed in the same music industries that sabotage them, they prove a point. And no matter what the industry does, BTS will make money with no American music label in between, and not shaking hands with industry people. No matter what the industry does, BTS will continue having the fandom support others fail to conquer.
I like how also over the years, BTS has not cracked at all and been like, here, we'll give you 10% so we can start getting our real numbers.
Trying to push it higher.
They're like,
just
F you.
Slow,
Like,
steady
that's fine.
growth, man.
That's fine. Yeah, I like that.
That's it, man. That was pretty good, man. Huge eye-opener for the industry to see how it all kind of works behind the scenes.
You know what I'm really impressed by? Bora City's like in-depth.
How detailed she is, right?
Bro, it's insane. It really gets you thinking.
Yeah,
like
she's like a true detective, man. She like digs in deep.
I think I went through like 4 different emotions in this video. It's like pissed, happy, mad, sad, like
a little bit of everything.
Everything, man. Wow, she did really good. Shout out to Bora City, guys. If you don't know who she is, go follow her. Bora City, she's incredible. She has a ton of different videos, in depth, just like this on BTS. Extremely impressive.
Yeah, definitely subscribe.
We'll link her name down below in the
description.
In the description, Good stuff, guys. Wow, that really pissed me off. Like, I'm actually heated right now. We need to come together as an army so we get these guys to the top every single time, no matter how much the industry tries to break them down. Yeah, we need to come together as the army.
They always succeed, man.
Always, especially with us behind them, like we'll get them there. With that being said, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for more. If you want to see the rise of Bangtan, bonus, deleted scenes, all of that, it's over there on Patreon. We're giving away 7 days for free and 15% discount when you sign up for the whole entire year.
That is huge.
So check that out. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.